Hello everyone, welcome back to Generation Mingle, where generation don't compete, they connect. I'm your host, B. Remember to give us thumbs up and subscribe, we really greatly appreciate it. Today's episode is again a little different, it's very special to me. It's the season of the year that I really cherish very much. And I have to say that, regularly in December, we all tell children that Santa's listening or they're watching, right? But tonight is not about the children. It's actually about letters that I have received from lives that already have been lived. And believe it or not, different generations have delivered letters to Santa. Okay, and thank you so much for them. So we have from boomers who ask not for toys but more time. From Gen X, I have letters who learn to stay strong while carrying the heavy load in silence. From millennials who balancing hope, exhaustion, and healing at the same time. And I even receive a letter from Gen Z that is honest, brave, and really unfiltered as they are with great big hearts. So some have asked for understanding across generations and to remember that maybe we don't speak the same language, but we all have the same emotion, and especially around holiday season. So let's go to the letters. My first letter is from a baby boomer. Okay, here we go. Dear Sandra, I'm not sure if people my age are still allowed to write to you, but here I am. This year I don't need gifts. I have a lifetime of them. What I want is simpler. I want my family back in the same room without any arguments. I want my adult kids to slow down, stop worrying so much, and remember how strong they really are. I want my grandkids to grow up kinder than the world feels right now. And if you have room in your sleigh, please bring me patience for all of us in the world. Thank you. A hopeful Burma Gigi. Well, thank you for trusting us with that letter. I think is amazing, and especially that Rabuma still writes a letter to the Santa. So let me say this clearly, okay? There is no age limit for hope, for reflection, or for writing a letter to a Santa, right? I think it's fantastic. If anything, this letter actually proves that wisdom actually deepens, right, with the wish list. Okay, through the year. What I hear in that letter, in these words, it isn't about presents at all, right? This is about connection, about wanting the noise to calm down and reflect a little bit and spending time with the family. That is a not small wish at all. I think it is very brave. And you are speaking for so many other people. Right now, parents watching the adults, kids carry heavy worries, right? And the grandparents hoping that the next generation grow up softer in the world and that the kids will be having better life and less worry as well. So I think that wish list is absolutely perfect. What I really like about the wish list, the last one wish, that was the patience. That may be the most powerful one of all of them, right? What Gigi have asked, because patience is what let us listen instead of immediately react, right? Is what I believe helps generation to stop talking at each other, but start talking with each other. And it is what keeps, I believe, family together and can bring them back and make them to understand, because their lives that is so fast is keeping us incredibly apart, right? So if Santa listening, okay, and I like to think he does, I hope that the slates are packed with full of patience. Thank you so much again for sharing, and we're gonna move in just a second to another letter. Okay guys, I have a second letter, and this letter is from Generation X. Okay, dear Santa, I don't really believe in miracles anymore. Life kind of trained that out of me. But if you are listening, here is my list. I would like rest, real rest, not the kind where you are still worrying about work, kids, parents, and bills. I would like my teenager to talk to me again. I would like my parents to accept help without seeing it weakness. And I would like one day where nothing falls apart and I don't have to fix it. If that is too much, I will settle for a quiet cup of coffee. Gen X still holding together, Maria. Well, Maria, thank you for that letter. Thank you for opening letter to us. You say you don't believe in miracles anymore, and honestly, that makes sense to me as well. Life has a way of shutting down us, right? And the beliefs that we have, and throw curves for us, and especially for Gen X, we went quite a lot. Again, not taking away from any other generation, but we have been like the sandwich between the boomers and millennials. The life kind of speed up for us. So I need to tell you this thing. If you wish, that's the one thing that really touched me in your letter, in your wish list, to speak to your teenager again. There's a one step that hits deep that I will suggest, okay? Silence from the kids not always feel that they just don't want to talk to you. They're trying to figure it out themselves. Let them grow up. Let them find themselves where they are, okay? And keep that, door open. And I'm telling you, they will start to talk to you. But I think, from my experience, they try to still figure it out where they are, can place themselves in our world, in the future world. If it's coming of your parents, that's a tough one. And I know that they see in themselves as a weakness and you just want to help. And it's tough to bridge through. Just be patient with them as well, okay? This is a big knot that is very hard to untangle, and that will be forever, and they're never gonna let go. If it's coming, to ask for a day that nothing falls apart, that's a tough one. You just go step by step and take that 5 minutes to yourself, take a break, because if you don't, it's gonna just become tougher. And I am Gen X, and that's what I suggest, because life never stops. It's going on the fast pace. So take a break, 5 minutes to yourself, and have that extra cup of coffee. But I have another letter from Generation X, and has been surprising because just hit on why we are here and why we try you guys to connect. So listen to this. Dear Santa, I am Gen X and grew up in a small town in the 70s. Life was much different then. We knew all of our neighbors and kept an eye out for one another, even offered to help when needed. Now, 40 years later, I live in Las Vegas. If I could have one wish for Christmas, I would wish for people to come together and share the experience so we can learn to be more compassionate with each other, where we take the time to learn about each other and promote kindness. I have enjoyed listening to Generation Mingle, as I think it is important for us to learn about the past and the new generations and how we will find ways to navigate our world. Merry Christmas to all. Miss S, Gen X. That it just summarizes why we're here for you. Beautiful letter. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for listening. And thank you for some of you having the same, idea that we have here at Generation Mingle. We want to keep us together. So thank you so much for the beautiful letter. What I love about your message is that it bridges generations instead of blaming one another, right? We often saying things were better then. And with you expressing yourself in that letter, your statement says to me there is something valuable that we can bring forward, right? With knowing what was better. And that is exactly why we're here. And we're creating the space for the stories like yourself to just combine the past with the future and be kinder with each other, for each other, and build a better world. Thank you again. Fantastic letter. So we're gonna move into next letter from Millennial. Okay, I'm enjoying this so much, this letter. Dear Sandra, I feel silly writing this, but I am exhausted mentally and emotionally. I followed the rules, school, work, relationship, self-grow, but I still feel behind. This year, I want peace with where I am in life. I want to stop comparing myself to everyone online. I want to feel secure enough to start a family, or confident enough to say I don't want one. And please, Center, help me believe I am not failing just because my life looks different. Love, a very tired millennial, John. Yikes! Okay, so, John, first of all, you're definitely not failing, but let me say this, okay? What he wrote, it sounds like, you're capable to do absolutely everything. It's so clear then later that you're doing absolutely everything right, okay? And still carrying this quiet fear that somehow you missed the one step that everyone's already figured it out. Well, you did not. You did not fail. You adapted to the world that keeps changing the rules, like in the middle of a game, somebody's trying to changing the rules, okay? You were told that, if you work hard, you stayed aware of everything that you do, eventually you arrive on the, spot and place that you want to be, to buy the house, to have the family or not, and so far. This is not a weakness. This is just pure pressure of this new world. So that's all what I have to say on this topic. But wanting peace with where you are not settling, again, it's wisdom. You are very smart, to wanting a peace. Not every one of us just stop for a minute and just want to have a peace, right? And relax for a second. So I think there is no life, there is a script that you have to follow, okay? You do on your own pace. You're figuring out what's the most important part for you. And I think you already got it, okay? Your life looking different, that doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong, okay? It means that it's basically yours. So thank you so much for the letter, and keep in mind, if Santa listening, I hope he brings you all the answers that you wish if you take it step by step. Okay, thank you. Now we're gonna move to the next letter, and this one is quite attractive for me. Okay, it's actually from Gen Z. So here we go. Dear Santa, I know the world is kind of mess right now. We joke about it, but it is scary sometimes. I want to feel safe being myself online and in real life. I want adults to actually listen instead of telling us we are dramatic. I want my anxiety to calm down even just a little. And if you can, please don't let us lose hope. We need it. Gen Z, Tom. Thank you for trusting us with something so honest. Okay, Gen Z. What you wrote carries so much weight and also at the same time so much clarity. I really give the kudos to Gen Z. They are amazing. Being honest, this is something that actually we, Gen X, and I think millennials and boomers should learn, okay? Trying to have safety, understanding, and hope, those are not small things, okay? They are human things. You're human. You expressing your feelings. When you say the world feels scary, it's not because you are dramatic, okay? You're being observant, all right? Someone does not understand basically what you're trying and how you're trying to express. You're growing up in time where everything is loud, fast, and pasted on medias, and how you can be expected to be calm and confident and certain in the ways you're doing things where there's so much chaos around you, okay? This is a heavy task for anyone, and especially for someone that's still growing and developing themselves and try to find themselves, okay? Wanting adults to actually listen, it matters. It's an accomplishment. It's something very growing up, okay? So anxiety doesn't mean you are weak, okay? Often means that you care deeply and you're aware about your surrounding and about the world expectations from you. So I think that letter to Santa is just, releasing your feelings, but you are just right where you're supposed to be. So slow down and here to find your clarity. Okay, guys, next letter, Generation Z. Dear Santa, I know the world is kind of mess. We joke about it, but it is scary sometimes. I want to feel safe being myself online and in real life. I want adults to actually listen instead of telling us we're dramatic. I want my anxiety to calm down, even just a little. And if you can, please don't let us lose hope. We need it. Gen Z, thank you for trusting us, Tom. That was a very, very sweet and honest letter to Santa. What you wrote carries a lot of weight, okay? But at the same time, you have plenty of clarity, my dear. You are not asking for perfection, okay? You're asking for safety, understanding, and hope. And those are not small things. Those are truly human things, okay? When you say the world feels scary, you are not being dramatic at all, okay? You're being observant. You're growing up in a time where everything is loud, fast, and public, and yet you are expected to be calm, confident, and certain. That is a very hard task for everyone to accomplish, okay? It's just not you. I believe that all generations are in the same spot, but you're expressing yourself, so that's perfect, and thank you for that. You know, wanting adults to actually listen, that truly matters. And not all of us have open heart to listen to you guys, to millennials or the Gen Z. Because as far as I know, if someone listened to me truly, what I have to say, this is a time when you're building up a trust. And when you are able to build up a trust, then it will be much easier to communicate it, right? Between generations, between your family members or anybody, right? Trust is everything. Anxiety doesn't mean that you are weak, okay? It often means that you are truly, deeply aware and you know where you want to go. You just need a little bit more clarity, okay? You need to slow down and let it breathe, okay? Since everything else is so fast for you and for all of you guys, especially Gen Z, it's very hard to follow what your parents telling you, what your grandparents telling you, and what's going on online. You need to truly take a deep breath and slow down and find some clarity. And if it's coming, you know, of listening to those adults, okay? It's very smart thing, just from personal experience, to listen to someone that have lived through, been there and done that. And you not necessarily have to follow every single step, what a parent or a grandparent or anybody in family letting you know, hey, you're supposed to do this or you're supposed to do that. But pay attention, learn from that. Because guess what? We did make those mistakes. And we're trying to just navigate a little bit sometimes. You don't necessarily have to follow from A to Z what we're saying, but just learn from that. Be better, because I believe in you guys, generations, that you can fix that world for us, okay? So I believe that writing a letter to Santa is something that I think everybody should do. Receiving a couple of them from the beginning, I thought I will write my letter myself, and I did. And you guys, it puts you really in perspective, you know, to appreciate that family and everything that you already have, and navigate through life, and maybe also prepare you to navigate through the next year, because it seems like it's getting any better, so we have to figure it out all new ways. So let me wrap up for today, okay? We have different generation, we have different words, we have similar wishes though, okay? We have the wishes for connection, understanding, and peace and hope, okay? So let me say this. Maybe Santa isn't just a man in a red suit, okay? Maybe Santa is just us, showing up better for each day and for each other, okay? I wanted to thank you for listening again to Generation Mingle. Thank you for your letter. If this episode spoke to you and you're feeling strong about this, reach out to other generation. Talk about it, okay? Try to mingle. Remember to keep your music loud, your Wi-Fi strong, your arguments just strong enough to keep on mingle. And I want to wish you, from our team, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and have a safe holiday season, and keep on mingle.